Hey, hey, can you guys hear me? Let me know if you hear me okay. I was having some technical difficulties earlier. Hello, can you guys hear me? Hey, there you go. Okay, hi. Hi, everybody. All right, so it's live stream night. We're going to give away a couple good, very cool things tonight. This is a Q&A. So the new people here, this is not group session. Every time we have a live stream, there's some confusion and people think it's a group night. This is just Q&A. You can ask me anything. Be aware I have a splitting headache today in the last hour or so, but we're going to truck right on through this. So who's here tonight? Hey, Gail. Hi, Chris. Hi, everybody. Troy, Bill, Carolyn, Sally. Hey, Sally Johnson. Josh C. Ellis Baker, Crystal Light. Hey, hey. Crystal Connors, Jamie O'Connell. Awesome. Yeah, cool lights. Yeah, I'm changing this room up. I took down the blue curtain and the little fairy lights, and this is going to be changing up a bit in the next week or so. Crystal oh, I got rid of the mustache 4 videos ago, Crystal. I even made a video dedicated to getting rid of the mustache, if you missed it. And I read all the comments from YouTube about the mustache. It was kind of interesting, to say the least. Hey, LS Baker. My middle name is Paul. Thank you. Thank you. Light worker under construction. Thank you. Just also tonight, everybody is eligible for the giveaway tonight. So even if you won last week, for tonight, you're eligible because we are giving away 2 things. One of them, I believe this, yeah, the Panasonic QR100 right here. Now, this is a recorder that people sell on eBay for like $400, $500. There's a guy who has one on there all the time for like $1,000. It's not worth $1,000. It's not a DR60. It's not a DR60. But it's a Panasonic recorder. I love these little things. I'm going to give this away tonight to one of you here. So that's going to be cool. Also, going to give away the Angel Box I mentioned in the last video, the Dybbuk box video. So instead of having an evil box, right, why not have a box of love and positivity? So I call this the Angel Box, and I put a few things in this that signify love, positivity, light, protection. So I'm going to give this away to one of you guys here tonight as well. And how the giveaway works is Debbie's in the back other side of the house, and she's writing down all your screen names here. So if you're in the chat, make sure you say something. Just say hey or something, and she'll write down your name. And by the end of the night, or at the end of the night, we'll pull out 2 names, and no matter where you are in the world, we will ship out these winnings to you. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. Is that recorder voice activated? No, this is not a voice activated one. It's just a Panasonic. People say that these are like good to have with a DR60. I've captured 2 EVPs on this in total, but I haven't really used it much, to be honest. It's really, it's a solid recorder. I think I paid $300 for it, or $250, something like that. So whoever wins it, you can keep it, you can sell it, whatever. It's yours, whoever wins it tonight. So yeah. Somebody's asking for my email. Just go to my website. There's a contact form if you want to contact me, huffparanormal.com. So if you want to email me, thank you, Angie Hero, Susan. Yes. It's funny because if I made a video called The Angel Box, it would get 1/4 of the views of a video called The Evil Dybbuk Box. People are drawn to evil and scares. I think it's just, we like to be scared sometimes. So who else is in here? Got any pics of you with hair? I haven't had hair since 1995. I shaved it all off. Let's see. Yeah, 1995. I was like 25 or 26 and I shaved it all off. I have old ones. Yeah, for sure. Thank you. ASMR Mia. Thank you. Oh, from Debbie. Thank you. I'm sure you're talking to Debbie. Did you take, oh, the Angel box doesn't have a made in China sticker. That was on that Dybbuk box. And that was my point. It was made in Thailand and somebody just made it as a craft project and sold it as some 1930s Dybbuk box, which it wasn't. The one I'm selling is a box I bought at an antique store last week. And this one's not made in Thailand. Where are we at here? So is emailing you better than doing a message on the Patreon website? No, messaging me on Patreon is easier. I'll see it for sure. It might take me 2 or 3 days to get to it, but if you email me, it might take me 2 weeks to get to it. So it's always better to go to Patreon and message me. Yep. What's your favorite scary movie? Well, you know, I kind of, well, since I saw it when I was 9, The Exorcist, even though it's not a true story. A lot of people think it's a true story. It's not. I like the movie, The Exorcist. I think it's masterfully directed. The cinematography is nice. It's dark and moody. The acting is good. And of course, I don't think there's ever been anything ever since that movie to match it for impact and fear and scares and, you know, chills. So that's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I like other horror movies, but most of them today I think are kind of corny. How is Debbie Caspi, your son, and the neighbors? Debbie's good. She stubbed her toe or something. Her toe was been swollen the last couple of days, so she's trying to get that fixed. Casper's totally fine. He's sleeping in his hide right now. My son's fine. He's working. The neighbors, I don't know. I haven't talked to them in a while. Right. Where are we at here? The Exorcist is not based on true events. That's a myth. If you research the true event it was based on, it was a boy who they thought was possessed, and this was long, long ago. It turned out he was mentally ill, and he wasn't possessed by any demon. So any movie you see that's based on true events, it's like 1%. Like the movie The Possession with the Dybbuk box, that was based on an eBay description that the guy wrote about the box. That's what they based the entire movie on. And the movie says based on a true events or something, or inspired by true events. So Hollywood is weird. They're not true. The Exorcist, as it is, never happened. Not even 1% of that happened in real life. Crystal Connors, have you had a past life or met a spirit that knew you before? I have met spirits that knew me. You know, I can't remember past lives, you know, but there are spirits who came through and said they knew me. They were with me before. Many of them said I was female when they knew me or whatever. And many have said they've been with me forever. So there's something to that, right? Exorcist gives me nightmares. It did when I was little. My mom showed it to me when I was 9. The TV version, no, the edited version. Where are we at here? So yeah, you guys can ask me anything. Ask me anything you like. And if I have an answer, if I know an answer or an opinion, I'll give it to you. Have you ever seen a blue glow appear during a session from Blue Cat Blue? Not during a session, but I had seen a blue form appear many years ago, maybe 5 years ago, maybe 6, the way time goes. I was in bed and I couldn't sleep and I felt an electrical energy and I looked up and I saw this blue-like form, a shape hovering above the bed. And it was very faint, but it would come in and out. And instead of getting scared, I just studied it. And then I even sat up and I was just looking at it. and feeling the energy from it. And I don't really know what it was, but it was very, very cool to see. But I haven't seen that during a session. All right. What would be a good way to clear bad energy in a house? Well, if you go by popular belief, use sage, cleanse the house with sage. In the past, I've cleansed my house with sage, and there's prayers that you can read off, and that is supposed to help rid the evil from your house while you cleanse the house. You can use salt. There's holy oil. This house has been cleansed in full a couple of times. But the most important, in my opinion, the most important thing about cleansing a house is cleansing your own head. If you believe that the spirits are gone, they will be gone. If you believe this protection and sage is working, it's going to work. It goes back to that intent, because there's nothing in sage that makes a spirit run. It's your intent and belief that this sage is going to make them clear. It's kind of complex from what I've found, but I would go about it with sage or a typical cleansing kind of procedures. But yeah, I still cleanse this house. So where are we at here? And also another way to clear bad energy is talk to that energy. Tell them, like a lot of people, when they experience bad entities or energy, their first reaction is to like attack and talk mean and, or provoke or not provoke, or just like yell and threaten this demon. And I found that makes it worse. If you talk to them, and this sounds weird because if you're dealing with evil, but if you talk to them with understanding and try to understand them and tell them you don't want them there, that can work as well. That's worked for me a couple of times. But anyway, the spirit came across and said, help me. That's how I started research 5 years ago. Awesome. Yeah, that help me thing, that's like a constant theme among most people who do this. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy to think, like I used to think, wow, when I die, am I going to be begging for help from somebody using a spirit box? I hope not. That's a frightening thought, right? Like help, help, help. It's like, it's crazy. Yeah, Palo Santo or sage, exactly, Stephanie Lynn. Thank you. I couldn't remember Palo Santo. I have some of that too. I actually prefer that to sage. I like the smell better. How is your TV deal coming? It's still in the works. Who knows? This is the only one I really wanted to do and was excited about, and tried to get Josh in it with me. And we both talked to the TV company. And the last I heard, I should hear anything in the next week or so. But, you never know with these things. Yeah, Josh's movie, Devil's Tree, that was a great movie, actually. I got to see that before it came out. I thought it was very well done. These chats go by so fast, and I'm sorry if I miss any questions. That like a whole screen just flips up, and then I end up missing some questions. This is kind of heavy, but wondering, do you have any ideas when a person has a spirit? Is it at conception? Do you think the spirit immediately goes back to the light if there is a miscarriage? What do you mean when a person has a spirit? Are you talking a pregnancy? Oh, okay. So like a pregnancy. I think it's at conception. Yes. I think that's when that light goes into that life that's inside. And of course, my belief would be if there's a miscarriage, that would go right back to the source. So I call it the source, God, love, where we come from. We come from love is what I think. We come from love. God equals love. No matter what God you believe in or worship or don't believe in, God equals love to me. You're cutting out. Can everybody hear me? It could just be on your end. We had this problem once before, but it was only 1 or 2 people. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm looking at a stream on my computer. It seems to be going smooth. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'm also, I have this new setup in here, it should be looking pretty cool too. But the next time we do a live stream, it's going to look a little different as well. Casper, how's Casper doing? He's getting quite big and scary looking. Casper is the opposite of scary. He's so kind and so chill. Like he's never even come close to trying to bite me or strike at me. If I open his cage, he'll come out and look at me. And at night he comes out now, and he comes out halfway out of his hide, and he'll rest his head on his water bowl and just look at Debbie and I while we're watching TV or something. He's an awesome, awesome pet. But yeah, he's getting big. He's only about halfway grown. So he's going to get around 4 or 5 feet long and probably around that thick or so. I can't wait, actually. The hotel we're going to. Yeah, we were supposed to go to the hotel last week, and then other stuff came up that I had to do, and we had to postpone it. Tomorrow I have something I have to do, and then you know, we're going to do that soon, though. But yeah, that's a hotel about an hour and a half from us. Do you still have plans this week to travel for a session at a house? It was a hotel. And yeah, we're still going to go for sure. And it's going to be pretty cool. I can't wait to go, actually. Walk-in portal project. It's still there. Again, it's something that's going to cost me a ton of money, and I need the right people to help me with it. And but yeah, no, it's all drawn up, and everything is like detailed. It just has to be built, and the 2 guys that were going to build it for me backed out of it. Can you? Oh, okay, that's somebody else. Salem's Lot. Oh yeah, that was a cool movie when I was little. I love the part where the kid's knocking on the glass, right? And he's the vampire and he's floating. That really freaked me out when I was little. Salem's Lot. I haven't seen that in a long time. Stephen King's books are scarier than the movies. That's usually true. Yeah. Love always wins. That is right. You talked about the Dybbuk box. What are your thoughts on haunted items, dolls, for example? You know, I don't remember, everything I say is just my opinion. That doesn't mean I'm right. It's just my opinion. And I'm a realist. I go by my experiences, what I've learned from communications, what I've been shown, what I've learned from experiments. There's a lot of things I've done that I haven't posted. And I'm always doing stuff in the background and trying things. I was in here last night at 4 in the morning experimenting with something, and that'll never be published. But I've never, ever, ever seen evidence of an item being haunted. Now, I saw, actually, he's a great guy, a friend of mine. He has a DR60 like this one. And he had a mirror, an old mirror, and he's like, here's proof it's haunted. I'll put this on the mirror and record, and he caught an EVP. Well, I can put this on a tree branch outside and get an EVP. I can put this on this microphone I'm using and get an EVP. I could put it on my cup of coffee and get an EVP. I've never seen evidence of a spirit attachment to an item, as in spirits saying yes, because I don't believe spirits can stick or will attach to an item. Everything I've learned shows me spirits want to attach to the living. And I have evidence that shows when they talk through devices, they're going in us. Just last night, this experiment I was doing, a spirit said, I will go into you to talk now. They go in, and when they're in, they can supposedly, use our mind and see and all this crazy stuff. And that's when you feel that energy. Spirits would not have any interest in attaching to an object. And I know there's been people who collect items, the Warrens Museum, Zach Bagans Museum, and there's been movies on it, the dolls, but I've never seen evidence of, like, Zach Bagans has that doll. Is it Annabelle? Yeah, I'm not too up on the movies, but if you look and don't look in her eyes, like I would walk in there, open a thing and hold it right to my face and look in her eyes and nothing would happen. Most of this stuff is based on fear and myths to get you scared, to get you to want to go to these museums and pay money to see them. So that's my belief. I've never seen evidence of it. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm right. Have you ever been held down by that thing you can't see? It holds you down and you can't move. No, I've never had that experience. Do you mean, what's that called? Sleep paralysis? I've never had that really. Maybe when I was little once. What time of the day or night, from JDS, what time of the day or night is best to acknowledge spirit activity? Is it certain time of the day? Why do I wake at 2 o'clock in the morning? That's a good question. I used to wake at 3 in the morning, and then I'd be like, ooh, isn't 3 a.m. like the witching hour? Something's supposed to be at 3 a.m. But again, there could be something to it, but I feel if you wake up, you're just waking up. I have had success, and others have as well, communicating at any hour of the day. I've had some of my best sessions at 7 in the morning. I've had some of my weakest sessions at 3 in the morning. I don't think there's a specific time, because I think that if you connect, they will come anytime you try to connect. Though it does seem to take a few minutes. Like Josh gets it, I get it, others get it. When you start a session and you ask, you might not get anything for a minute or two, and then lately, especially lately, they've been acknowledging, they're coming soon or they're coming now, and they'll let us know that they're coming through in a minute or two. But yeah, I don't think there's a specific time. Do you physically see spirits during sessions or just feel them? I feel them and I see them from within. So I wouldn't see them like I would see you if you were standing in front of me, though I've had that one time in life, 2 times in life, I'm sorry. But what I do, like during the group sessions, is I'll see it like a film strip playing in my head. It's almost like there's 2 movie reels right here, right? And there's the film, and it's like, and it's going right here, and it's a little blurry, it's fast, and I'm like, what is this? This makes no sense. And then I'll say it, and then we'll get a validation, and I'm like, wow, so I'm glad I said something. So yeah, that's what it's like when I do the group sessions. But feeling them is amazing. Like, sometimes it's so strong, and sometimes it's strong, it just kind of like pulses your whole entire body, and that gets a little nerve-wracking at times when it's like that, but that's when the communication gets stronger as well. And in my for the $25 people here, I just released the second video in that masterclass series, and we're still building up to where we're going to get into how to get in touch with your spirit guides, how to feel that energy every time, how to sense the different kinds of energies. So that's all coming up in those videos. Let's see, Zach is weird. Have you ever seen spirit move an object? One time in life, and it happened to me while I was on a business trip. It's an old video. It's on my YouTube. They throw I had a muffin on a plate on my nightstand, and I was at the foot of the bed with a Sangean radio, and I was trying to get communication, and I didn't see it with my eye. I heard it, and you hear it on camera. It flips up, and it landed at my feet. So from the nightstand to my feet. And when I asked who did it, the reply through the radio was demon. And so that was back years ago. And I remember I was so scared because, I was still afraid of all this stuff back then. And I remember that night I turned on the TV, and it was SpongeBob SquarePants. And even though it was late at night, I left that play, and then I fell asleep to SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't ever see the prompt to send extra money, Gina. For my Patreon, you don't have to send extra money. Whatever you're a member at now, whether it's $1, $5, or $5, $10, $25, there's no need to send me extra money. You're doing, it's amazing that you guys are here just supporting this work. It's amazing, and I love you all for that. And that's why I feel like I want to give away things and give you guys some cool stuff. So thank you very much, though. Oh, I'm not ragging on Zach. I wasn't ragging on Zach at all. I just said museums are there to earn money. It's nothing in there is haunted. And the reason they don't let cameras in there is because they don't want people putting it on YouTube, because you're paying $40 to get in. But that's fine. It's a great business. It's a cool attraction to see. Because even if these things are not haunted, it's still, they have significance. Like the doll and there's a movie made about the doll. So it's just cool stuff to see. I don't rag on Zach at all. I don't watch his show. But I don't dislike them. It's just, that's what it is. Oh yeah, that's Super Chat. I've never used Super Chat, but I forgot about that. That's in the YouTube chat here. Spirits have told me the hour helps, and I think it's because the focus is quiet. That's a good theory, because the more you can focus, and I believe this fully, the more you can focus when you're doing a session, like if you don't have disturbances, like sometimes I'll do a session during the day and my dogs will start barking and it breaks that concentration, and it's not really a productive session. So if you can do a session late at night or whenever it's quiet and peaceful, or do a meditation before, focus has a lot to do with it. And they used to tell me through the boxes, focus or stronger focus. And so that really does help a lot. Quiet is good. Have you seen the documentary Heller? My eyes are so bad. Heller? I can't see. I haven't though, but I'll look for it. Mama Joe, miss the mustache. You're one of the few. I mean, I don't know. I did a thing where it was like, I think it was like 60% wanted me to shave it or was glad I shaved it, and 40% wasn't. So it was like 60-40. But it's like, I don't know. Who knows? It might come back. I haven't shaved in a day, so I got a little stubble already. Jerome, yeah, Jerome's a cool place, definitely. I've been to Jerome many times. Paul Walker, yeah, a lot of people ask me for Paul Walker, to do a Paul Walker session. I'm sure I'll do one eventually. Any thought on renaming the tiers away from the monetary amounts? I'm not sure what you mean. They have a name. There's a name and a dollar amount. I don't know what I should rename them to. Any suggestions? I might have missed something here. What do you guys mean rename the tiers? Let me know. Fill me in. Might be a great idea. I have no idea what you mean though. I just did a video on Mercury retrograde and had an amazing meditation beforehand. Awesome. Where can we see your video? Let us know. Type in your channel, or I guess your username is your channel, right? I'll have to check that out. The mustache was awesome. Well, thank you. I missed the stash. Here we go. Now I'm getting everybody saying they missed the stash. Some people were like, you look like a freak. Not you guys, but on YouTube. Amazon Prime, awesome. I have Amazon Prime. I will check that out for sure, because Debbie and I always look for movies on Amazon Prime to watch. When we go to bed, sometimes we'll throw on Amazon on the TV. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Notorious B.I.G. Yesterday was his death anniversary. Thank you. I will consider that for sure. Do you have a name for your mustache? No, I don't think we had a name for the mustache. We were going to name it, but we never did. It should have. It was worthy of a name, right? Tier 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, right now they're named like group sessions for 5, live streams and more for 10 or something, and get it all for 25. I mean, that's, you know, but yeah, I mean, if that's better. I just want people who are not signed up to know what they're getting before they sign up for it. Silver, gold, platinum, that's a good one too. I get you. Now I get the ideas. Thank you guys. Thank you. I never had, this is from Jay Dess. I've never had so much peace in my life since I've embarked on our program videos and your YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And, you know, I talk a lot about that with me, how I just feel this inner peace and calm. And I'm really a super laid back kind of guy. And it's like, you know, if I'm hanging around the house all day, I'm quiet, I'm laid back. And I try not to let things in life get to me. Like, you know, there's a lot of things going on in the world in the news every day. You know, there's a lot of hate in the world. And then you have politics on TV all the time, which I can't stand keeping track of all the time. And it's like, I try to clear that out of my life and just focus on my goals and what I want to do and what makes me happy and family and friends. And, you know, that's what it's all about. Thank you so much. Where are we at here? Your stash was big enough to have its own zip code. That's funny. Yeah, because when I was like in my 20s, I couldn't grow a mustache to save my life. You know, and once I got into my 40s, I noticed I'm like, wow, if I let it grow for like 4 weeks, it just gets massive. You know, it's like, I think that was 5 weeks maybe. Thank you guys. Do we have light that spirits don't have access to? That's a good question. I don't know. I know we all have a light within us. Now, here's an interesting question. I was thinking about this the other day. You know, spirits ask for our light, right? And it's not just me. Everybody who does this work, I don't know everybody, but a lot of people, spirits have mentioned the light, right? And they'll say your light. So what if you have someone like a serial killer, an evil person, right? Do they have that light within them still, or is that light dimmed? Because I've had spirits mention on days where my light is brighter, like your light is bright today, or it's brighter. So does that mean like if you're a bad person that you have no light? So would spirits still ask for the light or be attracted to someone who's evil? I don't think so. As a matter of fact, yeah, that's my belief, but it's an interesting thought. But as far as having light they don't have access to, I don't know. That's a good question. You know, our soul is light. We are light. We're beings of light, and we're in this shell. And as I was watching Josh the other day on his live thing, and what did he call it? A meat sack or a meat pocket? I thought I was cracking up. But anyway, so it's like, yeah, we're just housing our soul. This is an experience for our soul living on this earth at this time. And, you know, our soul is here to learn. It craves love. And once we move on, I think that depends on where we go once we move on, what we've learned here. That's my belief anyway. I like the stash. Wow, everybody liked the stash. Wow. Missed the stash. I might have to grow it back then. Thank you, Gina. Thank you. You could up your, if you want to give more, you can up your Patreon amount in your account. You go in there and you can put whatever amount you want. But thank you so much. You don't have to do that. Thank you. Fred, my mustache Fred. Fred is a good name. Hey, Josh, we're discussing my mustache still that I don't have, but it can be back in 5 weeks. It's nuts, but the deeper I delve into my spirituality and trying to understand it, the more questions I have instead of finding answers. That's the thing, right? We'll never have the answers to every question. You know, we can do this for 20 years, 30 years, and there'll still be mysteries and questions. And, you know, a lot of people ask me, well, why don't you ask the spirits these questions that we want to know the answers to? They don't give the answers. And I believe they don't know the answers. So if, say, one of us passed today, right, our soul would then go into that afterlife. That doesn't mean we're going to have all the answers to every life mystery that we can give to somebody running a ghost box. So, you know, we're not meant to know certain things. But what I love about what we're doing here and these spirit sessions and spirit communication and contact and connections is we're at least learning that there is something, right? We already know that death is not the end. And that was the topic of my the $25 tier today, that death is not the end. And I told a very personal account of one of my near-death experiences and what it felt like when that light came and the things that happened and what I was thinking and what I saw. And, you know, that was it. That sealed the deal for me, knowing that there is something. And then doing this work and stuff I've done in the past just totally wraps it all together. And, you know, I know for a fact that we don't die. And I feel I have a pretty good understanding of what happens when we die, though I can't say that that's 100% correct because it's just a theory based on evidence. But yeah, we're always going to have more questions. It's like you never get all the answers. but you can kind of piece them together. You can kind of piece them together. Thank you, Bill. Think of Charles Manson as a ghost. Yeah, you know, that's another thing. Like, a lot of people were asking me, can you contact Hitler? Can you contact Charles Manson? Can you contact John Wayne Gacy or Jeffrey Dahmer, these serial killers? And I was like, that would make for interesting videos, right? And I could use their voice in reverse and see what was said. But then I was like, well, that's kind of delving into darkness, because I believe that these spirits would be in hell. And I believe in hell because spirits have confirmed hell through these boxes. Some have said I'm in hell. So why would I want to purposely delve into the depths of darkness to reach the ghost of a serial killer? I mean, on one hand, it would be awesome for research to see the answers that could come through. And on the other hand, it's like, you know, it's probably not the wisest thing to do. So that's something I struggled with. I haven't done any yet or ever, but I get asked that all the time. Hitler's like, I get asked so many times to do Hitler, and I'm like, why? But, you know. Yeah, The Devil's Tree is on Amazon Prime. Go watch it. Josh's movie. It's a great, great horror film. Steve, you felt the angels replenish your light. Yes, 100%. So do you feel spirit contact can lower your light? I do. If, you know what, I that's a good question. Thank you for Never Too Late to Skate, Skating Mama. You know, I think it goes back to how you go about doing this research. If you go about it in a way that, say, I do, Josh does, many of you guys do who do this with love, light, positivity, you focus on the good, you focus on angels, you focus on your guides. I think that replenishes your light. If you're doing good with this kind of thing, and that's what I try to do. Like my YouTube channel, I want it to be doing good. I want to show people that love is the key. There is a God, there is a higher power that we all come from. And I want people to believe that if you live a life, you know, if you're just nasty to people and you live your whole life, you know, as like a serial killer, there is going to be a different place that you go to. Now, I think everybody can be redeemed at the same time, but if you live your entire life as an evil person, I think you're going to go to an evil place. But so if you go about this communication and love, light, positivity, I think that it or brings up your light, fills your light. Now, if you go about it like some people I see, where they're always searching for demons, darkness, or they're provoking and yelling and talking down the spirits and seeing, you know, as a joke. I had an email the other day that I'll tell you guys about that. It disturbed me, but there's people that do that. I think that can suck their light, because I see those people as trying to attract the darkest parts, you know, so attracting evil spirits. And as you know, I wanted to clarify too, I did those Dybbuk box videos where I don't believe in them at all. And here I am, fine and dandy. Nothing happened from burning it or opening it. But that doesn't mean I don't believe in evil. I just don't believe demons can be trapped in a box and put on eBay for $40. So yeah, evil exists, good exists. And it just depends on how you go about doing this. So that's a good question though. Yeah, I think that they can fill your light, and I think your light can be taken away. Like I've had times, 4 or 5 years ago, where I was totally irresponsible doing this work. And I didn't have nearly as much knowledge as I have now. And I would go through periods of like low energy, and my, you know, face would sink in. I'd have dark circles, and I would just be like, and I think that's what was happening, because I was not caring who I was talking to. So yeah, I think we have to be responsible and careful when we do this kind of work. I think it's very important. Yeah, really good questions. Definitely. Thank you. Thank you. I'm reading the comments right now. I love watching you grow every day. It's been such an amazing journey you are on, and sharing it with the world. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, that's another thing. Like some people email me and ask me, You know, they're like, well, I have a YouTube channel where I do sessions, and how come nobody's watching my videos? And I'm like, well, it's challenging. I mean, YouTube, especially today, is so hard. Everybody wants to be on YouTube, and the competition is fierce in any niche you can think of. You know, I do camera videos as well, but I've slowed that down dramatically because there's all these like 20, 25-year-olds coming in, flooding, and then doing a better job than me. They're like, know how to edit really slick. They're good at talking. And, you know, now my focus is more on this, but it's very hard. So if you're going into YouTube with a paranormal channel, yeah, I can see it being very challenging. And I don't even know what got me on that topic, but yeah, the email I received the other day, a woman said her boyfriend was possessed and wanted my help. And she's like, yeah, we went to the cemetery and my boyfriend was provoking the spirits. And she's like, yeah, we were playing around like it was a joke. And the things that she said he said were awful. And it made my like stomach hurt. I mean, I would never want to see anybody talk to spirits like that. And then she's like, then they attacked him and I need your help. But she was even going about it like it was a joke, and I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it was disturbing to read that. But there's people who do that, and those are the people that attract the dark, in my opinion. Have to put out videos often to stay in the algorithm. That's one thing. Yeah, you need at least 1 or 2 a week for sure to get in that algorithm. But if you're just starting from scratch, you know, it's really hard for people to discover your videos. And, you know, it's only going to get worse. I mean, more and more people are joining in on YouTube every day. Then you have, you know, YouTube, they don't pay that much to begin with for ad revenue. And then they're demonetizing so many people these days. But yeah, and another thing I was going to go to with the YouTube, if there's people who want success on YouTube, you have to not be afraid to say what you really feel. I think a lot of people on YouTube are afraid to be themselves, and they're afraid to be honest, and they're afraid to say what they really think because they're afraid people are going to call them crazy or attack them or push out hate on them. But, you know, I've had as much hate as anyone in the paranormal over the years, and it has not hurt me. I think it's actually helped. There's been people who found my videos from a hate video, and then they're like, yeah, I originally didn't believe you, and I was led to watch some of your stuff from this guy trashing you. And then when I saw your videos, I saw how honest and sincere you came across, and I subscribed. So always be honest, man. Always just say what you feel, even if you think it's crazy. But yeah, possessed or just showing his true self about that. Exactly. That's what I wanted to write back. I'm like, well, you just broke 10 rules of spirit communication. And yeah, be authentic. Authenticity does show on YouTube. There's a lot of YouTubers today that use teleprompters as well. And I was like, teleprompters, is that a thing? And you could buy little teleprompters, and people write their videos. And I'm like, just speak from the heart, man. Speak what's coming. Let it flow. But sometimes that gets me into trouble because I let it flow for too long. We're all mad here. Yes. So what time is it? 8:42. So in another 5 minutes or so, we'll do the drawing for this angel box. Now inside here, I put a little crystal that I've had for a long time. And you know what else is in here? There's something very special to me in here, actually. If you go to my, if you go to the Patreon page, and you know my image header where it's my face and I'm holding the cross with the, oh, I forgot what it was called. There's a medallion within it. Now, when I was going through trouble a couple years ago, that was given to me, and it came from a church. Somebody sent it to me, and I wore it every day until it fell off and pieces fell off of it. And I always kept it as my little, you know, memento of protection. So that is in there, as well as a couple other little things, but it's sealed with candle wax, and whoever gets it, put it somewhere in your house, and it's going to signify positivity, love. And it's, you know, it's meant to lift you up instead of bring fear, you know, to instill fear in you. So, yeah, that's going to be really cool, I think, whoever gets that. All right, where are we at here? Thank you. Thank you. We love the verbal spew. Thank you. You guys might. YouTube people don't usually. They want to get right to the point. Like they want to see the sessions. They want to see the evidence. That's about it. When you ask spirits, angels, or guides questions in your own sessions, do you sometimes ask the questions out of curiosity? Yeah, sometimes, you know, I don't, when I go to do a session, sometimes when I'm pushed to do a session, you know, I'll know what I want to ask because I can feel, you know, and I'll be like, well, who is here? There's someone here wanting me to turn this on and talk, and we'll go from there. And sometimes I'll just come in here and say, let's see if anybody connects. And I have no idea what I'm going to ask. And sometimes, you know, if I hear something or think I hear something, I'll go off of that. But yeah. I still think it's possible for possession, but it's not a trite little thing that happens overnight. It comes from constant neglect, ignorance, and or disrespect. It does feed on negativity. Evil feeds on negativity. Evil feeds on fear and negativity, for sure. For sure. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Candy. No, this was something that was meant to be worn. I wear a rosary. I have a rosary right now. And it was sold to me as a necklace. You know, and I'm not Catholic. I'm not religious. But again, it goes to that intent, right? So I wear this, and my belief is that this is keeping me protected. And I believe that. So I have that intent. And so that's what I believe. But I'm not Catholic. Thank you. Any ideas on what we plan on doing after all the lessons are done? We're going to get together. Yeah, you know, that's so I've done 2 of 12. So my goal is, and I understand not everybody will be able to do it, but by the time the 12 are done, I'd love to have a meetup where everybody can meet up. And, you know, maybe I'll pick a place, or maybe I'll rent like an Airbnb, like a big house in Sedona, Arizona, which is amazing if you guys haven't been there. And then whoever wants to come, you can come meet up, and we can just hang out, chat, do sessions, talk, put into practice what we learned and all that. I think that would be amazing. So that's my goal. And then after that, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Are you and Josh going to do a session together anytime soon? I'd love to. I wish we lived closer, man. I really do. I mean, he's in Florida. I'm in Arizona. You can't get much farther apart. But I would love to. I always love working with Josh. How long do your spirit box sessions last? You know, I always say I try to keep them 10, 15 minutes, the actual session, but they go longer than that because I set up a camera, I set up a light, I set up a light, I set up this, you know, get everything together, and then I get the app in and I get situated, I focus, I do a 10, 15 minute meditation, press record, and then hopefully I record 15 minutes. Sometimes I do 25, you know, it depends. Can we see the $25 session videos if we join later? Yeah. They're if you're on a desktop on Patreon, on the left side, you'll see, I think there's 4 categories or tag boxes, and there's all the group nights you can see going from the first one. There's the meditation videos. There's these live videos you can see from the first one. And then now there's a new one for those videos in that series. And I just posted the second one today. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So I am going to ask Debbie, who can hear me. She's watching. She's in the other side of the house. She can bring the names in, and we'll maybe drag it out for a couple minutes, leave the suspense, but we'll have the names in here, and we'll pull 2 out. Been to Scottsdale, but never to Sedona. Sedona is a whole other ballgame. Scottsdale is about 40 minutes from me. That's where all the rich people live in Arizona. I live in the town where all the retirees live, the little cheap town. But Sedona is just beautiful. I mean, we tried to buy a house there 3-4 years ago, and I couldn't get it. I couldn't get financed for it, but that was like an awesome house. It was right next to the chapel. It was beautiful. All right. Tucson. Yeah, I've been to Tucson many times. right. I'm still trying to find a way to direct message you. I don't want to think I ignored your offer. Oh, Mary. Okay, I'm like, what? I'll be in Scottsdale in a week. Yeah, when you travel in the desert here, it always seems like you're going through just desert. Desert. So Debbie, if you can hear me, come on back with the names. Let's see here. Oak Creek Canyon is beautiful. I love Oak Creek Canyon. In the summertime, it gets so busy, but it's such a peaceful place when there's not many people there. I love you so much, and I've just joined, but my sister has told me not to contact our mom who just passed because she is scared that, here comes Debbie, that something evil, or that I will contact something evil. Is this true? Thank you. We have the names here. You know, I always tell people, if you fear this in any way, like if you think something evil is going to come in, it's possible. If you fear it, I suggest not doing it, because there are going to be times when you're going to get weird messages. I've had evil messages. Josh has had evil messages. Others have had evil messages. And if you let that get to you, that's what they feed on, right? So, I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and I'm alive, well, happy, positive, and I'm pushing love, the opposite of what people say should happen when you do this. So I think that's a testament right there, that if you do this with love, care, passion, and responsibility, and in the right way, that you're not going to have any problems. Let's see. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. Thank you, Autumn. Thank you. Snowflake, Arizona. I've heard of that. I've never been there, but I've heard of it many times. Please answer this. What do spirits do all day? Do they feel hunger, thirst like humans? You know, I don't know the answer to that. I can't imagine them feeling hunger and thirst, but I can imagine them remembering hunger and thirst. And if someone, say, just passed, and you're in the spirit realm and you're like, wow, you know, or did I die? Or some people don't even know they died. Maybe they can get that sensation. I've had spirits come through and say, I'm thirsty, or bring water, or mention that they like coffee when I drink my coffee. So yeah, it's really a good question. Good question. All right, let's see. It must be amazing to have someone like Debbie that supports you in your work. Yes, it is. I love Debbie with all my heart and soul, and she is amazing. She sits in the back and she watches and she writes down all the names here. So here's all the names of everybody in chat tonight. And I'm going to pick two names. So the first, Prescott is nice. Lived there for 26 years. We also thought about moving to Prescott, by the way. I love it there. Small town, cool weather, not all the heat. What do you think of Nick Groff leaving Paranormal Lockdown? I didn't know he was leaving Paranormal Lockdown. I haven't kept up on the news. So he's leaving the show, or the show is going off the air? Is the show staying on the air without him? So that's kind of weird, because he started the show. I know he, you know, had a hard time. There was some politics involved in the TV world, he told me about. I talked to him for an hour straight one day. He told me about problems. Well, I can't talk about it, but yeah, there's politics in TV, and I know he had some problems. But I didn't know he was leaving. So did the show, does anybody know if the show is canceled? Because I know he even had a hard time getting, yeah, it's off the air. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's right. I wish I could tell you guys what he told me, because then you could understand some of my thoughts about it, TV, more clearly. But I can't. I promised him I wouldn't. So here we go. We're going to pull out two names. The first name is going to be for the QR100 recorder. Let's see if we can focus. There we go. And if you win this and don't want it, feel free to sell it on eBay for a few $100. So you know, you can search them on eBay QR100, and they're going for anywhere from 250 to some guys asking 1,000, but these aren't worth 1,000. So I'm going to pull the name for the QR100 right now, and everybody's eligible because these two prizes are so good. I want everybody to be eligible. So even if you won last week, your name is in here. So here we go. I'm mixing them up. All right, so let's see. So I'm gonna just go by feel here when it feels right. And I got one right here. So we're gonna see who wins the QR100. I don't want to drop this. There we go. All right, let me see. All right, let's see if we can focus. You guys can see, focus, pocus. Melissa Bolton. Melissa Bolton. You won the QR100. It's hard. It's not focused. There we go. Melissa Bolton wins the QR100 recorder right here. Melissa, message me on Patreon with your shipping address, and we'll mail that out by midweek. Now we're going to give away the angel box I made. Again, signifies positivity and love. And this doesn't have a made in Taiwan sticker, but it does have the antique store sticker on it, which I'll peel off before I send it. And it's not wood though. It's like a ceramic maybe. I'm not sure. So I'm going to pull the name for this. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to mix the names. Oops, hold on. One dropped. Goes back in. Mix them up. When it feels right, I will grab, and I got one. So let me put this bowl down. Who do we have? So this is the username. Tarantilla. I know this name. You've been in here many times. Tarantilia. Anyway, there you go. You won the angel box. There you go. So send me your shipping address. That is yours. So that's awesome. I'm so happy that I was able to give that to one of you guys. Debbie and I are making our own this week. We just received our 2 little containers. So that's going to be fun. Teresa, all right. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. Thank you, guys, for being here again on this live stream. It's always fun talking to you guys and hearing your questions. And, you know, it's just always fun. Next time, another 2 weeks, we'll do this again. And it might look a little different in here once again by that time. But thank you guys so much. We're going to close this out. It's been about an hour. Have a good night, everyone. I'm looking at the comments still coming in. Yes, congratulations. Thank you. Love and light to all. That's right. Thank you so much. Good night. I love you all, and I will see you next time. Group night is on the 17th. So that's, you know, coming up in about a week. So that's the next group session. So that'll be our next kind of gathering, even though it won't be here. But I look forward to it. So bye, guys.